Okay, good evening, everybody. So, Madhavi, let's look at
Is
your
everything
screen.
okay now?
I think so.
Venkat, is everything okay now?
Yes, I'm able to record it now. Looks like I'm good. So let me make Madhavi the presenter.
Yeah,
Was made presenter. You are no longer. Okay.
and can I give you my control?
Sure. Hey, so what's going on? Tell me what's the error, or
Yeah,
what are you struggling with?
okay. This is my server, and I will create the customer servlet, and there is two package,
Okay.
and 1 minute. Yeah, the home screen is good. Now I will go here, so it's showing this one.
Yeah. So what do you think is the problem? Hmm? What is servlet trying to do? Tell me. Sorry, servlet container. What is servlet container trying to do here?
File is not found or something.
Look at it. I mean, yes, you are right, precisely right. HTTP status 404 means wherever you wanted to go, it couldn't find it. So where is it trying to go? Tell me, based on this URL, where is it trying to go? This is your context name. This is your
Uh,
application name. Okay, have
yes.
no issues. And where is it trying to go?
Add one dot HTML.
Exactly. So it's as simple as I'm sorry I couldn't find add1.html.
One. Yeah, 1 minute.
Okay. So but you have add1.html. Huh?
Yeah, I have this one.
Okay. So add1.html, there are no it's directly in web content. So this is also good. So now let's go back for a quick second. Customer servlet. Okay, so can you look at the context name one more time?
The S should be capital.
So,
Is the,
Oh,
I
sorry.
think there is some errors in the root context XML.
so this is your home page. In the home page, you put it properly. Okay. So home page could be your index.html, right? So here when you gave, see here, this one you
Yes.
gave good. Okay. This one
Yes.
is not correct. Right.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay.
Right. I mean, HTTP status 404. I'm not saying it's going to be simple every single time, but I wanted to say that it means we need to understand, we need to think like servlet container. I always emphasize on this, think like servlet container. If you are writing servlet container or if you are servlet container, you think is the point. So it's saying that, hey, I'm trying to go here, I couldn't go. So you refresh this guy, and then now if you want to, yeah, now this is something else, right? So here
Yeah.
clearly class not found exception. Class not found, it's simple English, right?
Mm.
So com.java.training.servlet.customer.list customer is not there. So you have your list customer, but you may say you have it. See, look at it properly. com.java.training.servlet.customer.list customer. There has to be a typo. So it's saying, let's read. 1 second. Sorry, I accidentally clicked something. com.java.training.servlet.customer.list customer. Oh, servlet.customer.list customer. Let's look at it. Okay. I never trust myself, so I'll always go to web.xml, and then go to source, and then let's look at
Going down. Yeah.
this is the one, right?
Here list. Yeah, list customer.
Right. And then I'll copy this guy and then paste it here. So now
Not
let's
the down there list customer.
yeah, this is what it is, right? Oh, look at
No,
it.
no, going down. Yes, list customer.
That is the problem actually.
Oh,
It is
boy.
just only the list up to list customer only. They added the servlet also.
Okay.
No, going up.
Yeah. I got it, Madhavi. 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, but why do we have this one first of all?
Yeah.
What's this one?
Yeah, first I created and
Okay,
then
remove it.
I
Simple, right? I mean, this is a code smell. You don't want unused code in your this one. So you don't want this one too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So simple. Servlet description, list customer, and then let's look at it. com.java.training.servlet.customer.list customer. It is correct. Do you guys see anything? No, I think we have to just, restarting the server should do. It may have, oh, actually control. I'm pressing the control here and then clicking here. Let's see if it takes me. Okay, good. This is taking me. So that means it is good. So let's do a simple restart here and see what's going on. For that, what are these errors? Huh? Shall I say first thing, I'm already confused with these many projects open with these many glaring error messages. I can never debug anything like this. So I must close every single project, including this one, except the one I'm working on. Oh my God, you take,
Sorry.
I mean, any human being takes hours to debug any of this kind of application. Okay, so we are all human beings. When we look at 100 things, we can't think straight. Okay, I'm sure you are not exception. So let's look at what's going on here. It's saying, let's go to problems view. Did you see that red cross?
Yes, but I couldn't find that. What's the problem? Because
Let's look at it. See that in the problems view, it will be there, right? And two errors. Oh, see that? The project customer service is missing required library. When it is missing required library, you do whatever, you do 100 things, nothing gets deployed because none of it is going to work. Okay, in the web content lib ojdbc jar, web content lib. Is that right? Is that where we put it? Is that where we put our OJDBC jar? Any jar files, where do we put it?
okay, so
I want you to understand one thing here.
yeah.
This web content folder is not part of servlet spec. Please, I'm repeating this. Web content folder is where you will put all of your HTML files, and after today, we'll put all of our JSPs also directly here. All the web content, meaning HTML files, JavaScript, CSS, all of them we put it here. JSPs, to start with, we will put it today, but later we will move the JSPs into WebINF2. But there is a small point here. The web content is not part of the servlet spec. Servlet spec never talked about web content. This is just Eclipse dynamic web project is doing it. When you created the dynamic web project, this is how Eclipse behaves. In some other tool, okay, like Idea, JetBrains, right? That may have a different different way of handling the things. So this web content is Eclipse specific. Do not get confused. If you want to put your libraries, if you have some utility jars that you want to make available for your web application, where do you need to put it? Web INF lib. So this is where you have it. I don't know where we got this. So what you need to do first of all is go to project properties. You can right click undo it, or you can do right click build path. Where is that? Configure build path. Let's look at it. See here, build path entry is missing. If you ever have this kind of error, okay, nothing will work. This is not a small issue. This is like a big issue where nothing will work. Okay, so we need to fix them. We need to fix them. That's all I'm saying. See here, this guy is, you pointed to it. Let's remove it. You already have the OJDBC6, but it's just that you have a duplicate of something else. Very good. Now you will get the real issues. All these while you are not getting the real issues. Because of that, the whole project has not been built properly. Now let's look at it. Now let's look at it. com.training is not there. Oh, com.mazan. So this is not correct. So what we need to do is we need to import. I'm doing a Control Shift O, organize imports. It will automatically change, delete unused the unused ones, and now it gives us error. It's saying, hey, I'm sorry, your DAO does not have update customer apparently. So what do you want to do? Looks like your customer DAO does not have update customer. This guy has, but let's look at it. What is it saying? The method in customer DAO is not applicable for the arguments int. Okay, you are trying to pass ID, but it expects a customer object. Okay, you go back and fix this guy. I'm not going to fix right now. I'm currently making this class just compilable, not runnable, but I'm just making it just compile. I did new. Oh boy, this one has a new. You know what? Let me pass null for now. You take care of it later.
Okay.
Okay, I'll pass null.
Yeah.
So that at least compile it.
I have one question here, Venkat.
Sure.
Venkat, I have one question here. Since we are getting the ID value from the list customers, when we update it, don't we have to have a form so that we can give the user to enter the first name, last name, and whatever the field values that he wants to update, and then click on update?
I am not denying whatever you just said. 100% with you. 100% with you.
Yeah.
But that is actually, but I also wanted to say that that is not actually you are updating back into the database. You're actually loading a customer. You are loading a customer from database so that you can display the current values of customers.
Yeah, I just want a form so that it will have the pre-populated values from the database, and I will make the changes and then submit it so that it gets recorded in the database.
I'm totally with you. 100%. There is no, every word in what you just said is correct.
So if I need to do that, I need to put those values into the input type text fields, correct?
Sure.
And those values
How do
that
you,
I need.
Sure. Go ahead. I'm sorry. No, I can't agree with you more on that. I'm in agreement. But how is it related here? DAO.update customer
No.
does not take ID is my point. Oh, it's different. You're talking completely different thing.
No, it's different. Since we are in the update customer, I just wanted to ask.
I got it.
It has nothing to do.
I got it. So I was trying to connect the dots. How is it related? I agree with what you just said, but here you still can't take ID is what I was coming to, but I understand. Yes. So in order to do an update, if we have time, we will do it today. If not, but we are not going to do it in servlet way anymore. We're done with servlets, meaning not completely, but I don't want to write too much HTML in servlet because that is not practical. We don't do it in real world applications. So I'm going to stop there and then go to something else and mix and match later. So, but
Yeah, if we have time, can we do the update?
not in the servlet way. No, because it's a time waste for me.
Okay.
I'm saying for your time, I'm saying these many people, because we don't do this. You got the concept, right? But the
Yeah.
same concept, let's do it differently. Same today, we'll do it differently because every line of HTML code that we write in servlets, back of my mind, it's my mind says that it's a time waste. It's a time. The reason I'm saying is nobody writes this code in real world. I wanted to show
So
you.
then in that case, the other technique that you are going to show, is it the good practice? I actually.
Yes, exactly. I wanted to show you the ugly way of doing things first. This is ugly way of doing things. And if you don't understand this one, you will not appreciate what's the next technology. This is all, I'm going in a chronological order. This is how we used to write code back in probably 15 years back. Okay?
Okay.
Even probably before that. No, I think probably 15, 16 years back. Okay. I myself never wrote code like this when I started my career also. So, but this is how we used to do it. And after that, I'm going to talk about, that's my topic. So we quickly realized that this doesn't work. We went in a different path, and we did too much there. We stepped back and say that, you know what, we are doing too much of this. How about combining both the best of both worlds? So that is called MVC framework. We'll get there eventually. Okay. So
Venkat, before you move on,
Mhm.
I have that pending question, the nagging question rather, about the PLSQL embedded in. Did you find that, or
I
if you
couldn't.
didn't get time?
I
Okay.
actually
Okay.
couldn't.
Okay, no problem. That's fine.
We'll
Just keep it in mind, huh?
Sure.
Next day.
Remind
Okay.
me after this class. Let's look together probably.
Okay, sure. Thanks.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, Jyoti, since you got the idea, you can try on your own.
Yes, I mean.
So,
No, I tried a couple of things.
okay. Hey,
I'm getting right now an error, but
sure. If you want to look at that error, we can definitely take a look at it. That error, so that I can simply, at least your hurdles will be taken care, right? You want to show me? Probably we all can learn something new.
yeah, sure.
Sure. Madhavi, first of all, are you happy now?
Yes. Thank you.
No problem. So I hope you have learned something here around that. If you see that big red mark, you must go to problems view and fix the issues before you try to actually debug the issue. Okay?
Okay.
And while I am at it, okay, I wanted to make a small comment so that everybody will learn something new. Okay, I already made a small comment here, web.xml. I don't want to see the dead code. Nobody wants to see the dead code. In fact,
Okay.
in there is it's not a field as such, but there is a term called software craftsmanship. Go Google it. It's called software craftsmanship.
Okay.
Okay, so crafting software is also an art. It's you craft it. Okay, so you continuously make your software better, not only from the functionality side, but non-functional side, meaning maintainability side. Okay, so you make your code maintainable, meaning you make your code understandable. So don't write code that you only can understand it. Probably that gives you job security. I'm actually joking here. Okay, maybe that gives you job security for the short term, but it haunts you. So the point is that software craftsmanship has a lot of points there. One of them is called code smells. Code smells, okay, or code smell. There are a lot of code smells. One of the code smell is dead code not being deleted. So a lot of people, what they do is they just comment the code so that tomorrow we'll understand. Well, you have a version control like subversion, CVS, Git for that kind of reasons. So never. So read about code smell also. So no dead code. Okay, if you're not using it, that will only confuse you. And number two, that's a small point. Read about software craftsmanship, and people talk about something called code katas. I think code katas. I'm not sure whether I talked in this batch or not. Kata is nothing but a step in karate.
Karate?
Yeah.
Karate. You've talked about karate before.
Oh, I did talk about it. Okay.
So that's why I had a question that did you practice karate in the past?
No, I did not. It's not mine actually. I stole from someone. It's a standard software. I mean, people who are really passionate about it, they just do it. It's not just writing the code for your client. Okay. End of the day, you have to be happy too with what you do, right? So, yeah, code katas. It's like a lot of people say that. So let's say you are a guitarist, right? So you have a big presentation that you are doing on stage. Okay. How many times do you practice it? Hundreds of times, if not thousands, right? Unfortunately, software, this coding is the only one that without practicing at home, we directly go and directly write and push our code to production. That's very unfortunate. So try to, even after you get the job also, try to get 20% of your time, or at least 10% of your time for professional development. Constantly improve your skills. Okay, that's a side note. These are all my own ways of preaching. So anyways, the point is, yes, your class names. Okay, I'm really happy with your package name. But this one, every class name, if you write like this, it clearly tells me that you are a fresher in this field. So if you want to avoid that, your class name, every class name must, doesn't matter whether it's a servlet or something else, must start with an uppercase letter, right? And then it's a camel case after that. What is camel case? Camel case meaning list. So in your word, okay, every word, first letter will be uppercase. So if I write a class like list customer servlet with threading, something like that. If I have it, observe this one. So in a sentence, I'm putting everything. C S list customer servlet with this threading. So these are all uppercase. That's how you want it. And all of your method names should start with lowercase, but it should follow the camel case like your classes for the subsequent words. Like something like a big, very big word, right? Add customer with name should, I'm just writing a test, JUnit test method, right? Add customer with name should be able to do something. You get it? So these are the conventions for your classes, and this is the convention for your methods. methods always start lowercase, but camel case is standard in both of them. Okay, whether it's readable or not is a different thing. I mean, it's better readable than this one, no doubt about it. But some people say that, you know what, this is ugly. Some people write they do underscores, but not in Java. Typically, we all follow the camel cases. Okay, typically 95% of the times, but other, you can definitely, once you join any company, if they have some standards, they have their own standards, then it's a different issue. So I thought I would make those 2 points. Madhavi, you good? Okay, so
Yeah, I am good. Thank you.
okay, no problem. Jyoti, you are the presenter now. You're welcome.
Can you see my screen? Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So Venkat, I have one method, find by primary key.
Super.
Yeah, so that would also fetch me a customer object.
Yes.
Which I can just give it to the update customer.
Fantastic.
So that is one way that I'm thinking, which I will update it. But just to show you what I have done.
Definitely.
So I have this. When I click on here,
Very
so
good.
how I have delete, I just put the update customer also, so that I can get the
very good
ID value.
I got it.
Okay, and then I click here. It will take me to update customer HTML.
Very good.
Okay, and where I can just enter all the field values, like whatever. I did not pre-populate it. I need to see what is the technique that I can use for pre-populating it.
Okay.
But if I use the find by primary key, then I think I can populate it into these text boxes with a value.
Absolutely.
Value parameter.
Absolutely. Input type equal to text, name equal to something, value equal to is what you need to do there. Yeah. So yes. You need to pre-populate and update. It's not fair for user to not to pre-populate. Yes, it must be pre-populated. Agree.
Yes. So that's what I because of lack of time I could not finish it, but
that's really good. Okay.
Let me enter something right now, like.
Sure.
So when I click on update customer, I'm getting a null value.
Look at it. What is it saying? Number format exception. Now, let me see how many people together, right, as a team here. Let's see, where do you think is the error? Based on that one, forget about, you don't have anything, just these 6 lines of error message, you have it. Tell me, take me to line number where it is the problem. Jyoti, can you do that? Or anyone else? I'm fine. Which line? And how did you get there? How did you get there? I want that.
So I am passing the ID value, correct? So I'm just taking it.
Forget about ID values. No, I'm not talking about it. Go back to the browser. I want to find out, you are getting an exception called number format exception.
Line number 30. Line number 30.
You didn't understand what it means, though. That's fine. I mean, I also don't understand a lot of times what it means. But where is which line of code?
30.
Line number? Do you agree with that? Line number 30?
Initially 30 and then 52 and all those things.
Where do you see that?
See over there in the error message? Com Java
Java, there
training.
is written 30, Java 30.
Update
Yes.
customer dot Java line number colon, that is the line number. So it is clearly telling you that in a package com java training dot amazon servlets dot update customer, there is a method called do get there, line number 30. So in that class, it is clearly telling you where you are getting that number format exception. Let's go there. Let's go to that class and then let's go to line number 30 straight.
Set the line numbers.
Control
Preference.
L.
Windows.
You can do in two ways. In window
Windows
preferences, you can, or Control L, you can use it.
Yeah, so I pointed to the right one. Then.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, this is the one. This is the.
That is not.
Why not put the line numbers? Quickly. Windows preferences. You know it.
That's fine. I mean, but we got it. So, but that is not the line number to tell you. That's line number 29. I can tell you without knowing what's your line number. I can tell you that's not the line number. When you get the request.get parameter of ID and you're storing into string ID string, it does not throw number format exception. I can tell you that. Number format exception is thrown in the next line, integer.parseInt ID string. Your ID string is now.
ID string is now, yeah. So that means the get parameter is not happening.
How do you debug this kind of issues? Whether you believe me or not, right? So how do you trust it, right? Exactly. So that's the right word. How do we trust it? How do we know? You know, the first thing is, in this case, I told you that what you do is between 29 and 30, what you do is you put
debug messages.
Exactly. You put a debug message there. You put system.out.println. I know this is we don't put system.out.printlns in production, but system.out.println ID string equal to.
I'll just check whether it.
Do you want to put an ID string in?
Equal to ID string. Put ID string equal to ID string will be better. Quotes and then plus.
Okay, good.
Plus. Okay.
Now, save it. Wait for it to be loaded into the servlet container. Then rerun it and open up the console and see if it's really printing out something. That is now for sure. Why is it now? I don't know. That's the next step, right? We will see. First, let's confirm this guy. Let's confirm this guy.
Okay.
Let's confirm this guy. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to. I think you're already running.
No, I did not.
See. No. Wait. Cancel it. Your server is already running, Jyoti. Just because you changed your servlet, you don't need to reboot, restart the server. It's there is something called, we used to do it 10, 15 years back. We used to do it, but we don't need to anymore. It's called hot deployment, meaning it automatically gets deployed. All of your changes will be automatically, but you'll have to wait for some time. That's all. Okay, and can we go back? Go back and do everything again.
Rerun it. Run on the server.
No, you are already running on the server.
Yeah. So
if you look at it,
you just want me to refresh it. Oh.
Exactly. Refresh it, or go to that HTML and enter one more time, or your list screen. Go to list screen and do the same thing again, or just refresh it. You lost me? Exactly. So put all of these details. Okay, now go to console. So ID string equals null, right?
Yes.
It is null, and the actual error is that, look at it, now read it, java.lang.number format exception. What you're trying to do is, you are trying to convert integer.parseInt, and it takes string, right? So you are trying to convert, null is also a string, right?
Yeah.
It's actually
It shows
not
the cast.
wait, it's not null string. It's actually Java object null, just null. Null means nothing, right? So it is, you are trying to convert null into an integer. That is where the problem is. That is why it's throwing a number format exception. So saying that, hey, I'm sorry, I cannot format null into a number. So now the next question is, why is it null? The next question is, why is it null? And I can tell you immediately. Go to the browser one more time. You look at that URL string there, URL bar. Highlight that URL bar. Yes, exactly. Look at it. You're going to slash customer DAO servlet slash update. Everything is good. Question mark F name equal to Vijay and L name equal to V and address equal to 122 and city equal to Palm and state equal to TX and zip equal to 12345. There is no ID there. So you are not sending from the browser to the servlet. It's as simple as that.
Yeah. So I need to append that ID value
Right.
or no?
Go to your HTML. There are a couple of ways of doing it. Let's see. We are not there yet, but let's see. Okay. So you actually came here, right? So here, oh, I thought I have. Give me access. Maybe can you wait? Maybe can you wait? I'll get to this one. There is something called. Okay. Maybe I'll tell you the concept. I'll not
Yeah,
do it here.
I don't want you to just
Yeah.
completely explain it. Just tell me the concept. I will work
Yeah.
on it.
So the point is, from servlet, you got. Can you give me access? I'll show you just what I'm trying to say. So here, see here, when you click on it, you got here,
Yeah,
right?
so can I get that request query string
Exactly.
and then
Exactly. This is a simple HTML, right?
Mhm.
So it is a simple HTML. So what you need to do is, you need to hold on to that, but you don't want to display it. You can display it like this if you want to show it, right? Just for the fun, I'm saying. So you can display it. Am I typing? I'm typing. You just give me the control. Okay. See, you can do it something like this. Input type equal to text. Mm, This is actually
so can I
your
give something like a request dot query string and whatever the
no.
ID parameter?
You're talking about, this is HTML. You can't do
Yeah.
anything. So the point is, you can't do anything. That's where we will have, today we'll talk about JSP. So in JSP, what you can do is, there's something called hidden field.
Yeah.
Okay. Or text field. It doesn't matter which one it is. Okay. So as long as, see, the concept is this one. Input type equal to text, name equal to ID. Okay. And value equal to whatever the value that you got it from there. That is the concept.
Correct.
Okay. But how do we dynamically populate it? You cannot using HTML alone. That's the point. Okay. Either this whole HTML has to be dynamically generated. See, it is the same point. Now, you asked me just now, hey, how do I pre-populate it? It's very unfair to, have him click and then you have this, you are sending it to update customer.html. This guy does not have anything, right?
Yeah, I can, and
So
also the user can.
how do I pre-populate all of this? Okay, if you can pre-populate this one, you can pre-populate your ID too. So the problem is same for pre-populating all of this, including the ID. So we merge two problems into one. How do you do it? Well, what you need to do in order to do that is, you should not bring user to a HTML page. All of this has to be dynamically generated.
So should I just put all this in the form and everything in the servlet itself?
You got it. Precisely, you have to do it. There, you just say, out.println input type equal to text, name equal to f name, value equal to. There you have the object, the customer object, right? There, this is a string, of course. I'm writing as if you are writing in Java, right? So here you just say customer.get first name. So all of this cannot be static. All of this.
Yeah, I tried that also.
Okay.
I mean, I just have to add the value and then
you got it. Precisely. Yeah. And then what you do is, now the ID. We solved one problem. How do we solve the second problem? What you have to do the second problem is, like how you're doing input type equal to text here, you do the same thing, but you don't want to display it. You don't want to display ID in the browser, but you want it to be there as an input field, as if user had entered, so that when they click on submit, it will be passed on to the servlet. I'm not sure how many of you are understanding it. If you don't worry, we will talk about it. That's where we spend a lot of time. Okay, but the point is, I don't want to display to the user, but I want to hold on to it. I want to put it in HTML as if like an input field. So when you click on submit, it will be sent to the servlet. That is called hidden. Input type equal to hidden. So what you do is, somewhere here you just say you don't need this guy because you're not displaying it. So you do input type equal to hidden, name equal to ID. Okay, hidden means that it is a hidden field, it will not be shown. Name equal to ID and value equal to whatever the value. Now it will be in your HTML page, but it will not be shown to the user, but it is there under the hood as a input type equal to hidden, meaning it is an input field. Once you click on this update customer, it will be sent to the servlet as if user had really entered. And now, then your update customer will get the appropriate ID. If you still did not get it, I mean, if any of you did not get it, no big deal, because I don't want to do this in servlet. Did you get it, Jyoti, first of all?
Yes, Venkat, I can do it.
Okay.
Yeah, and
you got the concept, right?
Jyoti, before you
go
ahead. Jyoti, one question. Can you go to your server menu below, server tab below Tomcat? No, on the right. Yeah. You've got 3.1, right?
Correct.
But in my system it's showing 3.0 and 2.5. And also Venkat asked us to use 2.5. That's not the point here. But why you are getting 3.1 and I'm getting 3.0?
I have recently installed this STS and also
Exactly.
Yeah, recently means how recent?
1 week ago.
1 week ago. Mine is fairly recent too.
That
Mine is showing.
Sean, I don't
Yeah.
want to spend any time on that.
Okay, no
Reason
problem.
being that it's irrelevant.
It's not
It
a
doesn't
big
matter.
problem.
2.9, 3.0, 3.1 does not matter. You
Doesn't
go 1
matter.
week after, she will get surprised with your version because there will be
Oh,
3.2.
it's
Okay?
so fast changing. Okay, that's why.
STS is like I mean the Spring people, the Spring Source people, they are like pretty much Google. They are very dynamic. Okay, so
Mhm.
but
Thanks,
Okay.
but don't
Venkat,
get
and
confused.
yeah, I
Small
apologize for any kind of delay spending time on my
Oh
issue.
no problem, no problem at all. But
It's a learning curve for all of us, actually. Thank you very much.
small point for your question, Sean. Don't get confused with servlet spec with the TC server version. So don't get confused. The 2.5 I said was the servlet version. This one is a servlet container version. It could be
Okay.
2.9, 2.9, 3.0, 3.1, or wait for you install after 1 month, then you'll get 3.2 probably. So no worries. It doesn't matter which version it is. They all support servlet spec 2.5, servlet spec 3.0, servlet spec 3.1. Period.
Actually, one thing about the servlet, about the Tomcat, see, my STS is still pointing to the VM. You don't have to troubleshoot. I'll do that myself. But I'm just telling you, it's pointing to VM vFabric TC server developer edition, the previous one, last year's one.
Right.
So should I get rid of that and have a more current one, which is what everybody is
I
using?
will not spend a minute on that. Okay.
Okay.
The concepts are more important. So
Okay.
it does not help. It does not. You do not gain anything. You do not lose anything. Go ahead and do it if you have free time. But I rather want you to spend time on the actual work on the products. Okay, product part of it, and give us some good servlet code that gives you more exposure to the code.
No, that's okay.
Agree?
There's no problem with that. The only problem is, see, whether I should use the product, the one that's with this STS or the previous one. Somehow it's pointing to the old one. That's why it's bugging me a little bit.
We are using servlet 2.5, so no worries. We are not using any 3.0 features, so you are really good. Okay? Even if you have 2 years old, it still
I'm not
works.
even saying that. I'm saying that it's going to VMware vFabric. The one doesn't matter.
Exactly. That's my point. It used to be called vFabric, and now it is called Pivotal Server.
Pivotal, yeah.
Exactly.
It doesn't
matter. Exactly. So Spring Source is a company behind this one, and then VMware bought this one, so they call it VMware vFabric Server for some time, and now they're calling Pivotal Server as part of their realignment of their products. That's it. So don't even worry about it. Any other questions? Anyone? That's it. But really good questions, good discussion. I can't tell you how happy to see your work. I'm really happy, very thrilled. Great job. Rohit, you have a question? Okay. So, last class we talked about servlets. Last 2 classes we talked about servlets, and we did decent code in servlets, right? Traditionally, I should step back now and teach you more about little more about servlets, actually servlet lifecycle, what exactly happens under the hood, I should talk about it. So, but this time I wanted to do it a little differently. So I wanted to stop here from the servlet concepts perspective or coding perspective. We will get back and revisit, a couple more concepts in servlets. Probably next class or the following one. But this time, without delay, I want to jump into a slightly different concept. Okay. And then I want to mix up those two technologies to build something more resilient very soon. So the point is that, okay, to answer Rohit, you have asked a question. Venkat, you spoke about hard deployment. Is it only with JSPs? Not really. For every single Java class change, we used to redeploy this application, or we used to restart the servers. This is back then, 10 years back, 10, probably even 15 years back. Okay, we don't have to do it anymore. When you change the code, so Jyoti was trying to redeploy it. So I was saying that you don't have to do it. You just wait there in the console. It tells you that, okay, reloading is complete. So that means it has reloaded again the whole servlet context. Anyways, we looked at the servlets. I want you to pay attention to this one, this kind of code here. So we are trying to write HTML. You know the static HTML. You know how to write some decent HTML stuff like tables, and Dev, probably you don't know Devs yet. That's fine. So there's a decent HTML you can write. But you are trying to write this HTML code in Java. So everything is in the double quotes as a string. So even if you put it instead of head, if I put it Venkat, doesn't matter. Because for Java, it is just a string. Whether it is a head node or just Venkat, it doesn't know that I fat fingered there. I had a typo there. It doesn't know that. And moreover, this HTML is typically used by the front-end people, more of a designer kind of roles. Definitely, Java developers are expected to do somewhat front-end stuff too. Don't get me wrong there. But this is not our life. This is not our bread and butter, to be honest. We don't do it on a day in, day out. We rather spend majority of our code, again, depends on the role, depends on the culture of the company, depends on various factors. Okay, but most of the time, we spend decent time, good 80% of the time coding the actual Java code. And again, depends on the project. We spend some time on the front end. But the real front end will be developed. Every company has a role called web designer. So they are really good at these HTML, CSS, JavaScript. So they know how to make things look really good. We provide the services, we write the backend code, and we also do the front end. But when something goes wrong, hey, how do I make this look really pretty? My business user doesn't like what I'm doing because our skills are very, very basic. At least my skills are basic, right? So designers typically work with these HTML files or JavaScript files or CSS files, right? They don't understand Java. They don't know Java. But if you write code like this, they have to invariably come here and then understand what's going on there. And most of the designers, I mean 100% of the designers, they use one tool or the other. They have a lot of web designing tools. They're like a lot of HTML editors, JavaScript editors, CSS editors, okay? Like Eclipse, like WebStorm. There are a couple of tools out there. So they use different tools. So we don't have any tool support here because everything is a string, including my name. So Eclipse unfortunately does not help because you are not writing a legitimate HTML. You're dumping all the HTML into the strings, and you're dumping all of them into out.write, right? And out.write takes any string. It doesn't matter. Any string of characters. So that's where the problem is. So when we were struggling with this one, Microsoft has introduced something called ASPs at the time, active server pages. Back then, this is probably late 90s, probably 99, 2000, 1980, I think. Okay. So Java people, obviously, we have been, learning from each other in the industry. We obviously, if there is a technology that's emerged, obviously we leverage. And then again, Java's VM concept, virtual machine concept, has been leveraged by a lot of programming languages, right? So similarly, that's active server pages was attractive. It was very simple to use it. So Java people have looked at it and they have kind of copied, leveraged in a fancy way, if you want to say it. So we have something called JSPs, another three-letter acronym. Microsoft people have it, so we also should have it. Our Java people have it, they come up with another three-letter acronym. So it used to be like that days back then. So we have this something called JSPs, Java server pages, like active server pages. We have this Java server pages. Java server pages. Okay, what are they? Well, these are, as the name suggests, these are server-side components. Server-side components. So obviously they live on the server side, like exactly like servlets. Okay, so we have servlets here. This is servlet container, right? Like a Tomcat. So we have servlet 1, servlet 2, etc. Similarly, these JSPs also live on the server side. But they not only live on the server side like servlets, in fact, they are servlets. Meaning, to make our life easy, meaning developers' life easy, it's not a new technology or anything like that. It's just to make our life easy. What they did was, hey, all the presentation code here, I mean, for that matter, all of this code, whatever you wrote here, okay, can be written in HTML-like code. So all of the static, this is all static stuff, right? All the static stuff, this is all static. This for loop is not static, definitely. This is not static. But all the static stuff, HTML, you can write, you're familiar with HTML stuff, right? So you can write all of your HTML into JSP. And for all the dynamic stuff, like this for loop here, this is the Java code. You can use some special tools within JSP, okay, to make your page dynamic. So it's going to be looking exactly like HTML or very similar to HTML with some Java code in it, so that you don't have to write all of this. Your designers will happily, they get the feeling that they're pretty much working on HTML. So you can take advantage of all the tools that they have, fancy tools that they have, that they use for HTML. All of them can be used for JSPs as well. And what it does, but from the technology perspective, there is only one spec, that is servlet spec. So when a request comes from the browser, your servlet, your Tomcat always looks for associated servlet, right? So what they did was, when a request comes from the browser, the JSPs that are sitting out there on the server side will be translated into servlets. So some servlets are Java components, right? Every servlet should extend HTTP servlet. It should override their do get and do post based on needs. We know all of those rules. If you write HTML like code, it will be translated into servlets. You don't have to write the servlets. You don't have to write all of this ugly code, putting this HTML code in the strings. You don't have to do it anymore. You write in whatever you wanted to write, like HTML. That's what you have been missing, right? That's the main drawback of servlets. So we fixed it. We're not introducing a brand new technology, but we're making your life easy. So you put that code in JSP page. It's pretty much like HTML. And I will generate those servlets for you. Meaning, dynamically, this Tomcat will generate some Java code for you. Every JSP gets translated into servlet. Some real good Java code will be written. The automated Java code will be written by the servlet container. And then after you get the .java class, it will be compiled too, because every Java class has to be compiled before it's used by JVM, right? So it will generate the Java code. It will generate the servlet. And it will compile the servlet too. It will generate the servlet and compile the servlet too. And then it will call either the doGet or doPost method, like exactly how your servlets work. Okay, depending on your HTTP method, it will call the doGet and doPost. But what are you gaining here? Well, the architecture is under the hood is very similar or exactly same. It's just that it's making developers' life easy. It's making designers' life easy, meaning web designers' life easy. You can write your code, all of your HTML code, in HTML-like files itself, like your JSP. And this JSP will be translated into servlet, because all Tomcat knows is servlet. So what it does is, first it will translate into servlet and then compile it, and from that point onwards, it just calls doGet, doPost, doGet, doPost. If there is an associated servlet, it will not translate every single time. It will generate the servlet code only for the first time. Obviously, it makes sense, right? If it's already out there, it will store it. Tomcat will store it in some location. When you call it for the first time, I will generate the code, servlet code, and I'll compile the code, and then it's there in my Tomcat. Now I'll call the doGet or doPost like how I used to do it back in the servlet days. Make sense? So that is why when you make a call to a JSP page, in fact, making a call to the JSP page also, I'll show you very simple. You don't need much configuration. You don't need any configuration for that matter. You can directly call the JSP pages. But when you make a first call, it actually, behind the scenes, it generates a servlet and then compiles the servlets and then calls the doGet or doPost method on it. Now, when you make the second call, it does not have to generate the servlet. It does not have to compile the servlet, because it's already there, like as if you wrote or as if you had written one already by hand. It's already there. It doesn't matter whether Tomcat generated it or you wrote it, right? So it will call the appropriate doGet and doPost. That is why the first request to a JSP is typically slower. Okay? Because it's dynamically generating the code and compiling the code, etc. So I'll show you how it looks in the web content, like how you have your HTML. You can write a simple JSP page. Okay. You just say hello.jsp, like your HTML. Okay, it looks exactly like your HTML with some page directive. You don't worry about it for now. We'll talk about the JSP directives later. Okay, here you can write some HTML. I mean, you already have HTML, so you can write, say, H2. Hello, how are you doing? I mean, this is like HTML, right? What's the difference between HTML and JSP in this statical case? In this static case, so no big deal, right? I'll show you some big deal a little later. Oh, server is stopped. So let me start the server. And then let's go to home page, right click, open home page. Now, this is your context name / since you put it in web content directly, I can call the JSP like how I can call your HTML. See that? I can call my JSPs like how I can call my HTMLs. You don't need to configure anything in web.xml. For servlets, you need to configure it and hide the details. You say that, hey, you want to go to /hello? Okay, let me see who is the class for that guy. Who is the servlet class associated with /hello? And then it will instantiate it. It will call the do_get_do_post. But here you are calling as if this is a HTML page. So far, it looks exactly like HTML page. But the beauty is you can write some neat Java code here. The beauty is you can write some Java code here. You can say something like, see here. Okay, how do you write Java code? Well, what you can do is, because if it's a simple HTML static page, then there is no need for another technology like JSP, right? But as I was saying, these are server-side components. These can generate the HTML dynamically, like how servlets can generate the dynamic HTML. These JSPs can generate too. So the JSPs have a few constructs or few elements, okay? One of them is called scriptlet. See here, this is how you write the scriptlet. This anchor tag and then %sign, and then in between you can write any legal Java code, okay? And here the percentage, and then you're closing this way, percentage and then greater than symbol, okay? Here you can write any legal Java code. You can say system.out.println. I'm on the server side. You can write any legal Java code here. Let me open it up. Yep. That sometimes what you have to do is those errors will not be gone. Just close it and open it. That's Eclipse issues. Now go here and then look at the console here. When you made a call, it went to the Tomcat, your servlet container, and then this JSP page was sitting out there. You called it directly, and then your legitimate Java code, this Java code has been called. And in fact, I can show you how your JSP will be translated into a servlet that your servlet container generates it. How does it look like? Maybe you wonder, hey, how does it look like? We wrote simple HTML-like code. You're saying it's all dynamic. This is all, whatever you did here, out.println, all of this, this is exactly how it will be doing. All of this code has been, all of this static code, all of this until this year, until this point, it's all out dot right, out dot right, out dot right, out dot right. It's all hard coded there. I'll show you how it looks. So right click on this server and then go to browse deployment location. Okay. And then this is your base instance. Okay. So this is your base instance and this is your WTP web apps. These are the web apps. These are the web applications that are deployed from your Eclipse. Okay. So go back to your instance. This is your base instance and then go to work folder, Catalina, localhost, and then servlet 2 is your context, right? So servlet 2 org Apache JSP hello underscore JSP.java. This has been generated by Tomcat from your JSP. This Java code has been generated when you first called here. It generated it and then compiled it to a .class file. So this is similar to how like any other servlet. Let's right click and then open it. Sure. Look at it. Look at it. Hello underscore JSP extend HTTP base implements JSP source department. Source dependent. And then you look at this guy. Look at this guy. This is your get method. And then look at all of this code. All of this is written in service method. You look at this, out dot right, doc type HTML head. See this, out dot right, out dot right, out dot right, out dot right. See this? This is the dynamic code that we put it. System.out.println. I'm on the server side. It put that guy as is. Okay, but everything else, all the HTML, it is automatically putting for us. It's free. We can grab it, right? So under the hood, it's all servlet. But this is all generated dynamically. We don't have to write this ugly code. That is why I keep saying that I don't want to spend too much time here, because we never write, at least when I started my career too, I never wrote HTML like this. I always had JSPs. So don't worry if you're really struggling to write this crazy HTML in this double quotes in out dot right. Don't worry. You will never write again in your life. Okay, we don't have to.
Venkat, can you please show how you went to this hello JSP.java?
Yeah.
Where it's located?
Slowly. Yes, I will. But let's look at it. I'll show you. So this is how it's generated. But do you have to really understand every line? No, it's all generated. It's free. It's generated, but is it important to understand that it generates the servlet code under the hood? Absolutely. If you don't know that, when something goes wrong, you cannot connect the dots. But you should, because from the servlet, from the Tomcat perspective, anything is same. Either you wrote the code like this in a servlet, or you just write some HTML, have this generated by your Tomcat. It's both of same. Okay. So I'll show you. Right click on this server and then go to browse deployment location. So it takes you to a location where all of your web applications are deployed in your Tomcat. Okay, this is WTP web apps. But now go one step back to your instance. This is your server configuration. And now go to work folder, Catalina, localhost, servlet 2, org Apache. In fact, Tomcat is a sub project under Catalina bigger project. That's where it all came. So JSP and here. This is your Java. This is what servlet container generated it. Okay. Now, so this is called scriptlet. This is called scriptlet. Scriptlet. JSP scriptlet. SCRIPTLET. Server side scripting. It's called scripting element. It's called, the precise name is called scriptlet. So you can write any legal Java code within this. This is the opening of this guy. You're saying that hey, you know what? I'm going to write some legal Java code. So don't put me in out.write. Okay, just leave me as is in the real Java code, because I go nicely, I fit nicely into you, because you are writing Java code. Okay, I'm already writing Java code. So this is where you're telling servlet container that, hey, I'm done writing Java code. And from this line onwards, everything again, you put HTML, you put it again in out.write. Okay, this is called a scripting element called scriptlet. There's one more JSP element called JSP expression. It's called JSP expression. Meaning, if you want to print something on the browser, okay, if you want to print something on the browser, let's say, hello, how are you doing? Let's say, H4. Today's date is, okay. So here you can write, all of this is simple HTML stuff, you know that, right? But let's put some dynamic code, some Java code, but it's not really a legitimate code like this, but we're actually flushing out something on the browser, meaning we want to show something on the browser. So for that, we use this JSP expression. So again, it's like anchor tag percentage, but equal to. Here, whatever you put it here will be displayed on the browser. Here you will say, just say new date, okay? Let's, oh, control 1 does not work here. So let's do it. Control space bar, yes. Obviously java.util.date. So it will automatically import. To import your Java classes into your JSP, you use this page directive. It's called, this is a different JSP construct called directive, and import java.util.date. It automatically does that if you do control space bar. Now look at this guy. Go to your browser. See here, today's date is Tuesday, April 28th. Blah. Did you look at it? This is dynamic. This is coming from the server. All of this is dynamic HTML that's generated by your servlet container. Now you go to your servlet container one more time and open this guy. You will see legit Java code. See here, I am on the server side. Look at it. Hello, how are you doing? Today's date is, so all of this static content, okay, this HTML, it has put it into out.write, but when it comes to new date, I'm constructing a date object here, right? So you just put out.print, and then it did not put it in the double quotes. If you put it in the double quotes, you will get as is, but no, it's actually evaluating that date, okay, and then printing here. Sorry, I'm printing here. It's coming from server. For that matter, let me show you something more powerful. I wanted to show you how simple it is to do in JSPs. All of this, whatever you did. So this is what you did. This much code you wrote. Okay, let's do it. Let's do all of this. I can do it. I'll show you. So let's say that list.jsp or list customers.jsp, JSP file, list. customers.jsp. The reason I've used underscores and the reason I'm using lowercase here for the JSP files, that's a typical style, but I've seen mixed styles in the JSP cases. I've seen exactly like your Java classes, L uppercase, and then C again uppercase. I've seen that style too, but I've seen this style too. So it's up to you. Depends on your, whatever your team decides. Okay. So I wanted to print all the customers. Okay, I wanted to call my DAO. My goal is exactly like my servlet. I wanted to call the DAO, get all the customers, loop through each one of them, and then I want to, but now I don't have to write that ugly HTML code in my servlet. Now, this is a like HTML. Okay, I can use my editor here. My Eclipse helps me saying that, hey, this attribute is not there. This is, you didn't close this tag, all of these details. Okay, I don't have to put it in double quotes. Servlet container is doing for me. I don't have to do it anymore. Let's see. And I can mix both static and dynamic content here. I'll show you how. So let's write some Java code here to start with. What is the Java code? I can copy paste this guy. Customer DAO equal to new customer DAO JDB simple. So your control shift O does not work. So you have to do customer DAO and then, okay, see that? Now it has imported these two guys. Now DAO dot get all customers. We definitely want to do that. List of customer objects. So first we have to do the list, java.util.list, and then customer. Yep. So we have DAO dot get all customers. We get the list of customers, right? This is legitimate Java code. Now in the for loop, I can borrow this for loop too. I can borrow this for loop too. Oh, but before that we want to write some, we wanted to build a table, right? Let's build that simple static HTML table. How do I do that? Table. Okay. Look at it. You know what? I'll just copy paste this guy. I'll just put this guy away for a minute. You stay here until I ask you. So I'm creating a table. Okay. Now in table, obviously you have tr, right? Table row. In table row, you have table heading. Okay. Now 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I believe. Well, let's look at this guy. See how ugly it looks here. First name, last 3, 6. Okay. First name, last name, address, city, state, zip code. See, it is automatically filling for me. The tr, I forgot to close it. It automatically, as soon as I put it here, see, it automatically closed for me. I didn't type that. Okay. So this is good. And now this is my first row. I can show you some static code for now. How it looks, right? We can go to /list underscore customers.jsp. It looks like that. Let's put some, we put some fanciness here, right? Hey, all of this style now, see here, we don't have to put in this anymore. So we can put this guy in a real head. We have head here. So in head, what we can do is we can put a style here in our head and close this style. Okay. And here we'll say look at it. Control Shift F. Oh, okay. My formatting works too. E, but it actually took away my. Did this take away my formatting? No, not really. So far, I'm okay. So, and then TH. Look at it. Now I can erase all of these guys, all of these guys, all of these guys. Fantastic. Good. Now let's look at it, how it looks. Yeah, I didn't do anything. Okay. But HTML is like HTML. This is where your styles go. This is like a real thing. All we did was look at it in the double quotes. This is not HTML. That's not where it belongs. Look at it. Now it looks neat. All of this is static. Very good. Now we need to call the DAO, get the customers, loop through it, and show the dynamic content, right? Now, for each guy, we have to show one TR, right? We know that. How do we do that? This is where we write the real Java code. So, and we just wrote it, but I put it there. Okay. So here, I made a call to customer DAO, get all the customers, and for each customer, okay, for each customer, now for each customer, we need to put the TR here, right? We need to put we need to put one table row here, right? So that's all static again. That's not a Java code, right? So again, you have to come out, you tell your servlet container that I'm done with the Java code again. Now I'm starting HTML. So TR, and then you just say TD, I believe, yeah, right? Now here, again, we need to show this guy. We need to show customer's first name. Look at it. This is the Java code. Your customer object dot get first name. Your Eclipse is helping you too. And then you close your TD. Look at it. So we are combining both HTML code along with your Java code. What is it complaining? Yeah, we'll worry about that. I'll show you. So this is your first name, and then last name, address, city, state, zip. Okay. This is my last name, address, city, state, get zip, right? And you close your TR finally. And now, once you are done, now you did not close your for loop, right? That is a Java code. You have to write a real Java code again here. Yep. So you closed it now. Getting it? So this is your Java code and this is your HTML code. Again in HTML, you're using your JSP expressions to dynamically print that. These are all goes to out.write, out.write, out.write in the double quotes, right? But this is you have to call the dynamic. You have to call this dynamically, right? Customer.get first name, customer.get last name, etc. So what we're done with, for each customer we'll get the TR and then table is done. This is good. This is really good. We'll get one exception I'll show you, but Let's look at it. Oh, we are not getting any exceptions. Actually, I was little bit concerned about this DAO exception being actually checked exception, but here it will automatically, the reason, okay, I'll tell you. Did anyone think that, hey, DAO dot, oh, someone was asking questions. Oh, very small font, huh? Let me see. Sorry. Can we put editor? Let's look at this guy and see if there is a way line width. General text. Huh. General, then font. Huh? Let's go.
I think it's font.
Okay. Colors and fonts, appearance, fonts. And then this is for Java. I think we put it. And then in a way we can do HTML or debug JavaScript text conflicting incoming Java compare. No. Wiki text. Text font. I believe this text font used when displaying text in Wiki text editor. Huh? This is only for Wiki text editor. Oh, structured text editors. I think this is what it is. The structured text editor text font is used by structured text editors. Okay. Is that good? Is that too big? Or yeah, it's too big. Where is that guy? Just now we looked at it. Structured. I agree. Let's go with 16 or 14. Whatever you say. I can go with 14. Yeah, is it better, Madhavi and everybody? Okay, sorry about it. When we had fixed Java itself, probably we should have fixed this one, but that's fine. Okay, so we closed all of this. Yeah, I was talking about one question that I was expecting all of you. I was hoping that you would ask that question. Here, DAO.getAllCustomers. This one throws a DAO exception, and DAO exception happens to be java.lang.exception, meaning checked exception. All the checked exceptions, your compiler forces you to either catch it or rethrow it. You didn't do anything in your code. You didn't do anything in your code. How did this work? Can anyone try to guess? Based on whatever the information I gave you so far, can anyone try to guess?
Guess the sender generate the servlets, right?
That's not it.
On the right track, okay. JSPs get translated into servlets, yes. And then finish your thought.
Servlets take care of the exceptions.
Yeah.
So generated code
Should have
must
that exception
must
covered.
have handled it, is your point, right? Precisely. If you look at the very good thought. If you look at this guy, right? See here, all of your code is there. Out.write, out. Otherwise, you would have written all of this code in your out.write. Are you realizing, Jyoti, now why I said don't worry? We are going to write it better. So you're going to write all of this in out.write and then figuring out or debugging, right?
Yes.
And put your Java code like this. This is exactly how you would have written. This is exactly how we wrote, right? You look at it. This is exactly how we wrote. Compare these two guys. This is exactly how we write. This is dynamic code, and then again all of this junk goes into out.write. See, we wrote it in, we just reversed it now. We put this guy in a special tag, but we didn't have to put this guy in special tags because that's by default, it's like HTML. Okay? And now your get all customers throws exception, right? Look at it here. It catches java.lang.throwable. Throwable is a dad of exception. Your java.lang exception, if you think that is the top in the hierarchy, no. Java.lang.throwable is the topmost in exception hierarchy. Okay? So this guy is catching that java.lang.throwable. That is why you do not see it. Okay? So you understood that. Now let's go look at it. Oh, look at it. Did you see any difference between how we showed using servlets and how we are showing you using JSP? Any of you have seen any difference? Now tell me openly, which one did you like? Which one do you think you can do it pretty easily?
This one.
No
JSP.
doubt, no doubt this one, right?
Yeah, but in that case, don't we have to have any of the servlets created? We can as well have only the JSP pages in the servlet container, correct?
You got it. Precisely. That's my answer as of Tuesday. Okay? I will change my answer very soon. See, as I told you, it's all, I'm going in a chronological order as the technologies evolved, right? I showed you the servlet saying these are best in the world, everything. Servlet is the best and most beautiful technology. And then now I'm saying these are ugly, right? And now I showed you better. But in the next class, I'll say that, I will pause there. Okay. In the next class, I'll talk about the disadvantages of the GSP and probably, hey, it doesn't seem to be exactly replace the servlets. Maybe they can work together. That is a pattern. We'll talk about it later. Let's be concerned about only JSPs here. Okay. So to your answer to your question, as of Tuesday today, yes, you assume that that's the case, Jyoti. Okay, we don't need servlets. We can do everything in JSP. This is like, wow, this is like savior to take care of all of our issues as of today. It's not really, but we will get there. We'll talk about the disadvantages and then we'll mix both. Okay, so I think we forgot here one. Yep, I think we forgot this guy. Very cool, very cool, very cool. Now, this is about listing the customer. Shall I show you another example too?
No.
Like how we have seen add the other day. Probably in the add case, add customer.html. See here, this is calling your
Add.
yeah. What is that add? Sure.
Add servlet.
Exactly. So you are calling the servlet, right? Servlet is a server-side component, but JSP is also a server-side component, right? So you can say /servlet2/add.jsp, right? Are you getting my point? So from HTML, now you can say, you can take it to add.jsp or add customer.jsp. In the add customer.jsp, this is like server-side component. You can get all of those fields. Earlier we did request.get parameter, right? We can learn about how do we get it from request. In servlets, if you look at it, we have this handle to HTTP servlet request. Do we have that handle in JSP also? Yes, we do. We can get all of them, and in our JSP page, we can nicely call DAO and then save all the details in the DAO, and we can show we can send it. Shall we do that? It can be done in 5 minutes, less than that probably. Let's do it. Right? Okay. Showan.
Yeah, say that once more. The work that we have to do.
So
you did servlet, the
sure.
addition part.
What
right?
I'm saying is
to do the add part.
Add
right?
customer.html, right?
Okay.
Now
Okay,
add customer, it is you're taking user to this add page, right? HTML page here.
Okay.
He will enter and click on submit. Then you are passing all of these values into servlets, and servlet is getting these values as request.get parameter of first name, request.get parameter of last name, whatever you have in the name attribute, right? Request.get parameter of last name, request.get parameter of address, request.get parameter of city, state, zip code. And now you're instantiating a customer object, and now you're passing it to your DAO to save the object. Agree? I will show you. I think it's fair. So let me show you. You can do one more example, not a problem, because there is a small concept that I need to talk about too. So I will copy paste this add customer.html, but I don't want to directly change this guy. What I will do is add customer 2.html. I'm copy pasting add customer 2.html. Ideally, I should have created one more project here. I should have done that, but I was lazy today. I didn't do it. So here, add customer 2.html, right? And now in your hello.jsp, you can say that hello, today's date is this one, blah. And now if you want to add a customer, please click here, right? We'll say here, and then we'll say href equal to /servlet2/add customer 2.html. So we are taking him to this add customer 2.html, as we know. Let's go to home page, and now let's say /hello.jsp. Hello, how are you doing? Today's date is blah. If you want to add a customer, please click here. We are taking him to this HTML page. Add customer to.html. Here, it will not call the servlet. It rather calls a JSP. Add customer.jsp. And method can be post. Sure, it can be get, it can be post, all of that. Okay, simple. Now what do we need to do? We just need to write this JSP page. Agree? I'm assuming we are still good. Now here, tell me what is the first step here? Anyone? What is the first step here? When I post this form here, when I click on this, what is the first step I need to do?
You need to start the Java
Call the
code
DAO.
and then DAO.
Table.
The DAO directly. To call the DAO, I need a customer object. To
Need a
need
table header.
No, actually, we need to
No, instantiate the
HTTP response. Yeah.
Instantiate customer.
Constructor.
No, response. HTTP response or request something.
We don't need that, right? Tell me, forget about the technology. When
Table row.
no. Think straight. Once we click on this guy here, guys, once I click on this guy, all the values that get posted to this JSP page, we need to get handled to them, right? All the values that are getting posted. This first name, last name, address, city, state, zip code. We need to get all of them, like how we got here. Forget? This is the first step, right?
yes. Then
Sure.
we
Did you
have
get
to
that?
create. Yeah.
Did you get this, everybody? This is the first step we need to get it. But here we have a request. We have got handle to HTTP servlet request. All the request coming from the browser is captured and put it into HTTP servlet request nicely. We can say request.get parameter. In servlets, we have that facility. In JSPs, what do we do? Well, in JSPs, you have this
Script
object. You have no, you don't need to. You have this object readily available, HTTP servlet request. So there is something called implicit objects. I'll talk about it in the next class, but you have readily available for you. You have readily available for you. Request dot get parameter. So you have this variable called request already in JSP in your JSP. This is where you can write your legitimate Java code, right? Scriptlet. So you have your request readily available for you. These are called implicit objects. Don't have to worry about the implicit objects. For now, request is already available. All the request parameters, you will get it like how exactly you wrote here, request.get parameter. So let's get all of them. Let's get all of them. This is exact code. But the only thing here is that you may be wondering, hey, here in this Java code, I understand your request is the variable name. Where is the variable name? That variable name is already being provided to you by servlet container. It is already provided to you. You can use that request implicit object. Request.get parameter of first name, last name, all of this, you just get it. And now customer DAO, and then all of this is same actually. That's it.
Winkle, let me see that HTTP that line in the main program.
Sure. Okay. Oh, sorry. Sweet. Now you don't need to do this guy because it's already being handled.
Okay.
Now tell me.
Let me see that line where you have that HTTP. Yeah, the original
Oh,
program.
servlet. You mean servlet? Okay.
Yeah, the servlet program.
Yeah.
Yeah. Slightly above, where you have the HTTP get line. Okay, request. Okay, I got it. I've seen what I've wanted to see.
So the request is a variable of the type HTTP
Type.
servlet
That's
request.
all I was trying to see. Okay.
Here,
So I have to remember that, right? So I have
which
to
one?
remember that fact that request
Yes.
was what I used over there.
Request, the variable
It's
name.
like a keyword.
Exactly.
Although it's a variable name, it's like a keyword.
Exactly. The request, this variable name, or to be precise, these are called implicit objects in the JSP world. These implicit objects, you need to understand it. Sorry, you need to remember it. Request, session, application, page, context, page. There are quite a bit of implicit objects. If you're wondering what are these implicit, I wanted to show.
Is it possible to get the list of all of those with reflections?
Oh, yeah. You don't need. See here. Every JSP has all of these guys. You have a variable called page context. You have a variable called session. You have a variable called application. Application is of the type servlet context. You have a variable called.
So all I need to do is generate one and keep it for myself, and use that JSP.java.
No, you don't need.
JSP.java.
It's generally, if we work on few JSPs, you will remember them because we are going to write a big application within this. So don't worry about it. So we will remember it. So, and this is very important interview question too. What are the implicit objects in JSP? It's a very popular interview question. See here. So there is a variable called request, and it is of the type same HTTP servlet request. And once we get some hands-on, then I'll talk about this theory here. I'll tell you why this is available, what exactly is going on. Under the hood, I'll tell you more. That's why I'm changing my style a little bit different this time, because I want to get you some coding, mainly. Okay, so what's this kind of? Insert finally to complete. Oh, did I? Oh, there's nothing wrong there. Actually, it's just your E. Oh. There is nothing wrong, I believe. There is nothing wrong. It's saying syntax error, insert finally to complete try statement. We did not write try statement. We removed it long back. This is Eclipse frustration. This is like a Eclipse problem. Okay. Anyways, let's not worry about it. So we came to customer 2, and now we'll write something like whose details shall we insert today? Who is not in the system yet? Is Rohit there? No, right? Hey, everyone is speaking Rohit.
He gave you a message at 8:28.
Oh, he gave me a message. Probably that's why we should pick him. Oh, okay. This guy's here. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Rohit Drive. He's a fancy guy. He has his own city. I don't know. Farmington Hills, Michigan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Let's look at our console. Insert into customer values, customer ID, blah, rows inserted equal to 1. Is that right? If that is right, then my list should be my old servlet. Oh, my list customers.jsp should work too. Oh, Rohit, RLN, 1, 2, 3, Rohit Drive, Farmington Hills, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fantastic. So, convert all the servlets into JSP now. This is why I jumped the gun, skipped some fundamental concepts, and came directly to JSP. I will come back. Once you are comfortable, you will understand my concepts more clearly. So don't worry about it. Okay? Now, I want you to convert every single servlet into JSP. And then the actual fun will combine both servlets and JSP's concept. That is MVC. And once that background is set, once that baseline is set, that is where the rest of the application will be built on. That is why I deferred session tracking. I deferred a lot of concepts because I want to get this concept going. Okay. Because this is where we spend weeks. So that's about it. Now, you're editing a customer, right? That is a piece of cake now. Oh, it's unfortunately 8:40. I can show you that editing a customer, we can show this list like how Jyoti was trying to do it. Once you click on edit, all of these details should be pre-populated now with JSP at just a few minutes. The reason it's few minutes is because all you have to do is, if you have like this, input type equal to text, name equal to blah, value equal to, here you can write a JSP expression there. And you can say that customer dot get first name, like that. This is why it's so simple to do it in JSP, and that is why I didn't want to do it in servlets. There's no reason to do all of that when we are never going to code like that, right? So don't worry. Go ahead and convert all of the servlets into JSP and sleep over it. Try to understand the concept. And in the next class, we will finish this one. Meaning, if you attempt to do the edit and delete here, like how we did delete and how Jyoti had attempted using servlets, you try to do it with JSP, but don't think that if you don't do it, you are missing it. I will do it again in the class for everyone else, but try to do it. And I want to see all of your product related DAOs and servlets, and now I want all of them to be converted into JSP.
Venkat, the product related means you mean the laptop and all those things?
No.
No,
Yes.
Or you mean the customer?
Remember, we are building an Amazon website,
okay, that
right?
one. Okay.
In Amazon, we have, in addition to customers, we also have products, right?
Okay.
Like product.java, right? So Amazon, in our store, we sell ranging from water bottles to iPads to iPhones to all of this. So everything is a product, right?
Right.
Are you getting it?
So yeah, I'm getting it. Actually, I was a little busy a couple of days, so I didn't catch up. So I just want to know about this home task thing. So it's there in your list of home tasks, right?
Probably
or it should
not.
be in some tape.
It's in my last class video. And this all of these people who are meeting every day, they are aware of it. And tomorrow.
No, if it is somewhere, then I'm gonna really read it up from there and start working on it.
Last class
Towards the end, right?
Yes, servlet 2 towards the end. I talked about it.
Okay, that's where actually my internet outage happened.
Okay, right.
That's why I missed it. Okay, I'll take it.
Yep. And small.
So in that case, we don't even have to use any of the HTML pages. We can as well, even if we have the static content or anything, I can just as well put it in JSP page, correct?
You got it. You got it.
Okay.
Because you never know, right? If you know that it's 100% static, your HTML is good enough. But you never know. You may want to put some,
later
some dynamism. Exactly.
Yeah. Later at
programs
any
also.
point, if I want to enhance it and have some Java code in it, so
Right. So at this
One
point,
can go directly into the xjava.jsp and xjsp.java and modify enhance over there.
no, you
Not
should
that, right?
never, ever, ever, ever
Touch that.
touch it.
So all we have to do is through the scriptlet, right?
Exactly.
Percentage.
I mean,
Okay.
the scriptlet is just one of the constructs of JSP, one of the elements of JSP. You have scriptlets, you have JSP expressions, you have JSP um, directives, you have actions, you have a lot
I mean
more
those,
things. Okay,
yeah, directives on those, yeah.
we'll get there. Make sense, guys?
Can we check out today?
You mean check in? I mean, I
Yes.
will check in, you will check out, right? Definitely.
Yes.
I'm being picky.
Check-in means let me get this. I mean, who's we're not checking in anything this time, are we?
I will check in so that you will get
check
it.
in.
I'm
Okay, you'll check
checking
into your
into
no,
servers.
Venkat
Okay,
will
I
be
got it.
checking in and we will be checking out.
Yeah,
You got
yeah,
it.
yeah.
You got it. Committing. When I say
Ven-
team commit here, this is nothing but
Okay.
checking in.
I realized one thing. You know, when doing a team upgrade for a checked out
Update.
item,
Update.
team update, sorry, it gives an error message, not error message, actually it says that a patch needs to be applied which hasn't been applied on your location. That's why some updates don't work. You know what I mean?
Okay. I didn't get it.
But you don't even have the permissions to check in, correct?
No, not check-in. I'm talking about checkout. I'm checking out from Venkat's place. But suppose I checked out something last week and I'm just updating it, team updating it. At that time, it's telling that it needs a patch. I can show you.
Let's one second. Someone was trying to talk. Rohit? Was it Rohit?
No.
Yeah, Venkat.
Yeah, tell me.
I have a question. There, some time ago, you were doing the update customer, right? I mean, add customer onto the JSP page. And then you said that there was a method in the JSP where you wrote it the action is a post, right?
Right.
But the point you said that there is like even if you use a get or a post doesn't matter. But my point of view is here, since you are since you are adding the customer, so definitely you have to go for a method called post. We can't use a get there. So am I right or wrong? Please clear me on that.
That's a great question. Let me emphasize
because that's really confusing thing, and in the everyday work I really face this complex thing, because get or post is really important thing, and I'm not yet clear where we do a get. In some concept, I don't know, there's some difference between get and a post when we do some operations specifically. Right. So I want to know such operations and when and what we do post and a get at what point of time.
That's a very good question. Very good question, and it can be asked in interviews. Typically, it's asked in interviews too. Any takers? In fact, I kind of talked about it in the previous class.
Yeah. So
anyone wants to?
What I'm thinking is get. Yeah. So get we will use it if we have to send a limited amount of data through the query string, which we can see it in as part of our URL. Okay, but there is no security in it. But if we want to have the security, then we have to use post, and we can also send unlimited data through post.
Yep. In fact, you said precisely. So,
yeah, post does a hidden thing, right? I mean, the query string won't show anything in a post. That's for sure.
Exactly.
Correct.
Let's talk about it one step at a time, right? First, get. In get, okay, first of all, to your question, hey, I'm posting something to the server. Can you please put yourself on mute? I'm posting something to the server from browser. Can I use a get or not? Okay.
Okay.
It has two perspectives. One is technical. The other one is semantics. Okay. So we'll talk about the semantics later. We'll talk about the semantics when we talk about RESTful web services, or if we have a couple of minutes now. Let's talk about it. Is it technically feasible to use a HTTP method GET when I'm submitting a form? Absolutely 100% yes.
Why? Why?
I'm saying it's feasible. Why? There is no reason. Why is it feasible, you're asking?
Yeah.
It's
because you're submitting, right? I mean, the point is submitting.
I'm not talking about semantics, Rohit.
Okay.
That's why I'm saying it is possible technically. I'm not saying you go do it starting from tomorrow. I'm not saying I'll get there. That's why before answering the question itself, I said, is it possible technically to do it? 100% possible.
Okay.
Okay? Understand that?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it is absolutely possible to submit a form. It is absolutely possible to submit a form using HTTP GET. Let's put that in the heads, that one statement right now.
Okay.
Okay? So slash hello.jsp, right? Okay. So when we click here, now I change this guy to GET, right? So let's put, I'm doing some fast thing, okay? Add customer. So it's actually trying to post that guy as is. So at this point, okay, what happens when you do is that when you use .get, when you use method as get slash URL, whatever your URL is, slash servlet2 slash add, right? And then method equal to get. All of these fields will be posted as a query string. Question mark, your field name. What is your field name? This name. First name equal to whatever you typed in the browser, right? And last name equal to whatever you typed in the browser. And address equal to whatever you typed in the browser. And so on and so forth. This is what happens when you post a HTTP form using HTTP GET method. Are we absolutely clear on that? I'm not saying, I want you to understand that I'm not saying this is the best way to do it. I'm saying it's doable, it's possible, feasible. Absolutely feasible. You can do it. Okay, and what happens when you do it? Well, your URL will be changed to append all the fields to the query string. Okay, there is a limitation. You can definitely do it. You can only do it up to 255 characters. Your query string can be 255 characters only.
Oh, okay.
Okay, 255 characters. And number two, I want you to understand that when you use get, all of this data will be appended to the URL. So it will be visible in the URL. It will be visible in the URL, especially when you are sending your username and password. Absolutely not a good idea to do it. Are we on the same page?
Yep.
Now, let's talk about post. I did not come to semantics yet. I'm only talking it's feasible. Absolutely. Now, when it comes to post, so HTTP, so this is your browser, this is your Chrome browser, this is your Amazon, okay? Under the hood, when you send something, either you have used HTTP GET or HTTP POST, this whole HTTP message will be posted, right? That's called HTTP. It's a payload. It's called payload is nothing but the message. Like I sent you a letter, or you sent me a letter. You know, our mailman will bring me the letter, right? The mail.
Yeah.
He will bring me the mail, right? This is exactly like that, and every mail will have a header and the actual body, right?
Yes.
Where it came from, to, and to whoever I'm sending to, and then how much stamp I put it, all the details, right? Similarly, here this HTTP payload or HTTP message will have these header and the actual body. Okay. In the case of GET, it will be part of your URL itself. But in the case of POST, your URL will not be changed. All of this data will be put inside the body. Again, if you open up the body using your Chrome Dev Tools or any of the developer tools, you will definitely see this kind of body. First name equal to whatever you gave, last name equal to blah, and you will see all of these as is posted. Because in HTTP, it's a simple text-based protocol. It's a key equal to value, key equal to value, key equal to value, key equal to value. That's all. All the fanciness will be added on the server side by your servlet container, by servlet spec, by frameworks, all of this. But under the hood, if you open up the actual HTTP, on the network, if you open up and see, it's a simple text.
Right.
Okay, so in the case of POST, all of this data will be part of HTTP body. That is why you do not see it. You can, if you have some tools like your Chrome developer tools or Fiddler, or there are some tools.
Right.
You got it?
Yeah.
And unlimited data can be posted using POST. Unlimited data can be posted using POST. This is whatever I told you is in the context of servlets, okay, and general feasibility perspective. Now, when you come to semantics now, meaning what is the right way to do it? When should I do what? Get. Especially these semantics, especially these are useful in the case of RESTful web services. You're, probably that's what you're dealing with right now. Yeah. So what some of you may not be understanding, but it's still, we're talking about HTTP. There is nothing that's fancy here. When you are getting something from the server, use get, and get is supposed to be idempotent. What it means is I should be able to make the get call 100 times without having any side effects on the server side, meaning without changing anything on the server side. If we understand this word, then we have no confusion of when we'll use what. So I should be able to retrieve the data from get, okay? I should not be doing anything, any kind of creations or update or deletions on the server side. If I do it, then I'm having a side effect. Without having any side effect, I should be able to make hundreds of get calls. Then that is the correct design of using get. Technically, I told you what is possible, but now when it comes to what should be used, this is what get. In the case of POST, when you are doing something, when you are posting something to server, so that server can update data in the database or create something called resource. There is a concept called resource oriented architecture. Forget about it, but okay. So if you are creating a state in the database, you are updating a state in the database, you are deleting a state. So you can't do that post repeatedly without having a side effect, because you are having a side effect here, right? Because you're doing something, you're storing something, you're updating something, you're deleting something.
Hello.
Getting it?
Right.
So every single time you post it, you are having a side effect there. That is post. When you're creating a resource or when you're updating something in the backend. In fact, if you strictly talk about it, post they use it to create the resource and put they use it to update, I believe. Okay, and actually HTTP delete is what is used if you want to delete something on a server side.
Yeah.
So all of these are non-idempotent, meaning they will have side effects on a server. But get is you are supposed to use get only when you read it from the server, and you should be able to make that call several times without having any side effects.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
So bottom line is, see, number of bytes, that is 255, and the security, as Jyoti said. So these are the two important differentiating criteria.
At this point.
Get and post.
But
as far as the event is concerned, actually both events give me same this thing. I mean, same results. I can use them for same purpose. Getting I can use for throwing on the screen. Post also I can use for throwing on the screen. Only difference is these two for now.
Use HTTP.
It's mixed up. The one thing you said is like
use HTTP.
No, if we can delete, update, or create, then we can use post.
Yes, for now. Later we'll touch this towards the end of the course. I'll talk about a topic called RESTful Web Services. I'll again revisit this and talk about HTTP architecture at the more fundamental. But at this point, use get when you're reading something from server. Use post for everything else, meaning, see, in our case also, look at it. It's a simple example, but this can well explain. See here, first name, last name, address, city, state, zip, and when I try to add a customer, I'm adding a new customer back in the database.
Exactly.
It is doable technically to do it HTTP GET, but don't do it, is my point. Okay?
Yeah.
It is technically doable. What happens technically if somebody asks you? Well, all of this data will be passed with
you are exposing all the security information, I mean personal information.
Yes, you can say that. Yeah, there is a little bit of even common user like me can read it if it's in the URL bar, but add customer, I mean, if it's part of the body, there are some tools you can use it to really open up and see also. But it's not obvious in the browser URL. And number two,
HTTP watch, are you talking about HTTP watch?
Yeah, something like HTTP watch, Fiddler,
Firebug also.
Exactly, yeah, Firebug, or your Chrome developer tools,
Yeah, Chrome developer tool, yeah.
Yeah, so all of this you can use it to really see what's going on under the hood.
Hack into it.
Exactly, hack into it. Yep, that's the right word. But developers we have to know that. Okay, that's.
Venkat, we still have that one.
Since Rohit said he's struggling, I kind of answered. It's beyond the scope of what we're talking about. But if you didn't get it, don't worry. Yeah, sure one.
See that? That PLSQL.
PLSQL, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. That one, I needed actually.
Okay.
If you want to do it next time, that's fine. If you want to do it, do your own research and
sure.
Then, okay. Another thing that's happening is, see, when I'm trying to do a team update, it's saying that the patch is there's some patch which needs to be applied.
Okay. Can I see that? Maybe it's your Eclipse. That's all I can say. It's nothing to do with what.
Maybe that's your update. That's probably might be an update for your Eclipse specifically. I think the patch might be with related to your updates.
It says the update is on his side.
Okay. Let's look at it.
Hang on a second.
Maybe.
Okay.
I know.
Let's take one thing. Let's take this guy for instance. Okay. So let me go here. Oh, let me do over here. Let me see. Okay, now hang on. Team.
What is this
Okay,
apply patch? It's not part of your, no. It's not actually, that is not a subversion thing. It's your own.
so what should I do at this point then? See, update
That's
projects is low lighted. Okay, apply patch, but it's not happening for all.
exactly. Look at that guy. There's something bigger happened. I don't know whether you got from this one. If
Yeah,
you look at it,
I didn't write it.
can
Okay, this one.
you give me the
Yes,
control?
this one.
No.
This one. I wrote.
Please let me
Okay,
give me the control.
take the control. Yeah. Got it?
Yeah.
Take control. Yeah.
So you don't have any local changes, right?
I don't remember what I did recently. Okay, give it a digit. No problem. I'll take it from yours.
I'm sorry, it's too late already.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it's okay.
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 So now which one?
go
Which
check
one are you talking about?
that one. Check it out.
This guy.
Okay. Oh, checked out. Fine. Now get back. Now do this thing. Sir, that one, first of all, see, look, it is pointing there. It's not really a complete checkout yet.
It is complete checkout. What do you mean?
Really? Because
Well,
see, the other things that I checked out before,
Uh-huh.
they don't have that greater than sign. Greater
Which
than
greater?
sign means,
Which
see
greater?
over there, see before the servlet, that small greater than sign,
Right. Oh,
before the word servlet.
it means
Yeah.
that you have some local files that have not been checked in. That's all. And if you're
It
wondering
means
what,
that I have some local files
yeah,
that have not been checked in. Okay.
what it means is when you checked out, your Eclipse automatically writes your dot class path and dot dot project file. So those have not been checked in. So don't worry about it.
Okay.
Never worry about it. So that's it. You want this guy?
This guy, no, now
What do you
getting is
want?
first time is okay.
Okay.
First time getting it works, but when I do a team update, then it asks for an apply patch.
That's not actually syncing up with your remote repository anymore, Shovan. Clearly,
Okay.
when you team that, if it doesn't show like this, that means it's not linked with the remote guy anymore. It's discarded. So
Okay. Yeah. See, do a team update for that one. See, that one happened because I created that one.
yeah, that's it.
Now it's okay. But for some of them, I'm not getting. That means maybe I have created them myself. Maybe that's the reason.
Exactly. They are not.
Maybe
They were
I
never
created
part
a
of. They are never part of the remote subversion repository.
Yeah, I didn't check them out. I locally created
Or
something
they
like
were
them and
at
later
some
forgot.
point, and you did something, on your machine,
Possible.
something.
Right.
Exactly.
I
So
made some local changes, and that's why it's not really allowing. Got you. That's all.
no. It's nothing to do with the local change. Also, again, sorry. It's something beyond what you think happened. Okay. Either it happens in the case of if it's completely corrupt, or it's not part of your subversion. Simple.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe I hand coded it or something like that.
Yes.
Locally, I've created a servlet one and forgot
Right.
that
If it's a local,
it's not a checked out one.
if it's a local copy, then you can't update or you can't do anything. And that's why it's asking you to actually share a project. Since you don't have access to share a project, it's saying apply patch. So ideally, you will get that share a project, meaning add this guy to the remote repository. So.
Okay, I got it then. It was happening in only some cases. That means what I must have happened was I locally created that instead of checking out, and then forgot about it.
Right.
And then thought that okay, let me do a team update, and that's why
you can never exactly
never do that. Okay.
You can never do that, right? Because it's never part of the server. Simple.
Yeah, correct.
Anyone else? Okay. Have a good night, everybody.
Okay, so we'll will about the
Can you check in the
PLSQL.
code
I did.
for the JS pages?
I did.
Okay.
Sean, sorry, you were saying something.
Yeah, it's okay. The PLSQL, if you just look for it later on or something.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. If
Because you know,
not,
I even get calls for this thing for swing and all those things.
right, I've never
And
taught them actually.
PLSQL is, yeah, I'm not asking you to, but I'm saying that sometimes certain places have old this thing,
Right,
old things going on.
right.
So PLSQL with embedded in Java is a very important thing. So I want to have one example at least.
Right. Hey,
That's why I'm asking for it.
okay.
Okay.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah. Good night.